This just happened. Iran is tightening control over one of the most critical oil routes in the world, and this could directly impact gas prices across the United States within days. We're looking at a situation that could lead to rising fuel costs, increased inflation, and growing military tension in the Middle East, all developing right now. Here's what's going on. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important shipping lanes on the planet. A massive portion of the world's oil supply passes through this narrow route every single day. Now, Iran has signaled increased control and possible restrictions in this area. There are growing reports of heightened military activity, naval monitoring, and warnings directed at ships moving through the region. This isn't the first time tensions have risen here, but what makes this situation different is how quickly everything is unfolding. Within hours, global attention has shifted back to this strategic location, and markets are already reacting. To understand how serious this is, you need to look at the scale. Nearly 1/5 of the world's oil supply flows through this single route. That means even a small disruption can create massive ripple effects across global energy markets, shipping systems, and international trade. Think of it like a bottleneck. If this route slows down or gets blocked, everything behind it starts to build pressure very quickly. And historically, even the threat of disruption here has been enough to push oil prices higher within a short period of time. Now let's talk about what this means for people in the United States. The first and most immediate impact is gas prices. When global oil supply tightens, prices at the pump usually rise, sometimes faster than expected. The second impact is inflation. Fuel costs are connected to almost everything: transportation, food delivery, manufacturing. When fuel becomes more expensive, those costs get passed on to consumers. There's also the financial market angle. Energy markets respond instantly to uncertainty, and that can lead to increased volatility in stocks and investments. And then there's national security. The United States has a long-standing interest in keeping this route open. Any disruption increases the chances of a stronger U.S. response, including increased military presence in the region. Right now, the U.S. is closely monitoring the situation. Military movements in the area are being watched, and forces are maintaining readiness. Defense systems are being repositioned as a precaution, which signals that the situation is being taken seriously. This doesn't automatically mean conflict is about to happen, but it does show that the risk level has increased. Historically, whenever tensions rise in this region, the United States strengthens its presence to protect global trade routes. From Iran's perspective, this move is about leverage. Controlling or threatening access to such a critical route gives Iran significant strategic power. It sends a clear message to the world that it can influence global supply chains if necessary. That kind of leverage can quickly change the direction of negotiations and increase pressure on other countries involved. But this situation doesn't just affect the United States and Iran. If tensions continue to rise, the impact could spread globally. We could see higher oil prices worldwide, delays in shipping, increased transportation costs, and economic pressure on multiple countries. Even nations far from the Middle East would feel the effects within a short time because energy markets are deeply connected. At this point, everything depends on what happens next. There are two possible paths. One is de-escalation, where diplomatic efforts reduce tensions and stabilize the situation. The other is escalation, where restrictions increase, pressure builds, and the risk of confrontation grows. The next few days will be extremely important in determining which direction this situation takes. This is a rapidly developing story, and the consequences could reach far beyond one region. If you want to stay updated on global events that directly impact the United States, make sure to stay informed, because situations like this can change very quickly.